So this is a Bailey Unicorn Cabrera. Just going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van you've got your jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake. We'll demonstrate these to you in person here on site. Coming down the side of the caravan, on either side at the front you've got your wind down legs in the same location on either side. So you just put them down to the ground. You can never lift the caravan with these, it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your water pump connection, which pushes into the side of the van, as you can see, pushes it in and locks in. You then need to lock the cap down here, the cover down, so it locks the pump in place. Then you've got your pickup pipe that drops down inside the water barrel, and it needs to be fully submerged in water prior to turning the pump on. All the heating and hot water flue does very much the same as the flue on the side of your house. No difference at all there. Essentially just connect up the, run the heating and hot water systems, and it will breathe out to the outside of the caravan. Coming into the locker on the side of the van here, you've got your battery gas bottle locker, and you've got your 2 gas bottle tie downs and your gas regulator on the bulkhead. We'll attach your gas bottles to the system once you're on site. You then got your motor mover and wheel nuts. The motor mover we'll demonstrate at the end of the handover, and we'll also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting, and every wheel nut on this particular van is a locking wheel nut. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your grey waste pipe outlet, so you'll have your 2 bits of grey pipe that go into the large diameter holes, and they'll drop down inside your waste master, and that is essentially to allow the fresh water that's been through the water systems out the side of the van. You've then got your toilet flush tank on the side of the van. You open it up and you put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. Then at the bottom here, you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling up the orange handle and pulling the cassette out. The orange neck here turns out 90 degrees, tip the waste away. The grey cap is a measure for your pink and your blue fluid. Then you've got an orange pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. You need to put 1 litre of water in there and a cap full of the blue fluid, and 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid in the top. Coming to the back of the van, you've got your 2 wind down legs on either side to stabilise the caravan while it's on site. Coming down the side of the van, you've got your 2 fridge vents. The 2 fridge vents very simply there to allow the hot air at the back of the fridge unit and take some cool air in. Behind one of these you'll also find a gas flute for when the fridge is running on gas. You've then got a 3-pin socket so you can have power out to your awning, and you can also connect a satellite connection to the side of the van. You've got a storage locker for underneath your front bed area, your mains power in, and your barbecue gas point at the front. Going on to the inside of the caravan now. On the right hand side as you walk in, you've got your main power on and off. You've got your water pump run, which I'll come back to in a moment. Then you've got your main lights for the caravan and your awning light for the outside, and you've got your auxiliary light switches around the caravan so you can turn the lights on and off as you wish to. At the top here you've got your voltmeter for the battery on board the van. So once you've got the power turned on, you can come underneath the cabinet on the right hand side, underneath the fridge, sorry, and you'll see in here you've got your 240 trip switches, which you can hit the test switch here and it will allow you to know if you've got mains power coming to the van. As you can see, the trip switch has dropped down, so it does mean there is mains power coming into the van. At the bottom, you've got your 12 volt fuses for when you're running the 12 volt items on board the van. And you'll also see that there is a list of what each fuse should be in each of those connections. We just have to turn the radio off, but as you can hear, it does work. So underneath the seat on the front right hand side, you will find your water system for the caravan. So at the back here, just down below the black pipework, you'll see a yellow valve. That yellow valve is the drain down valve for the water system on board the van. So if you need to drain the water system down, you'll have that valve upright and pointing towards the bottom of the seat. And then if you're filling the water system, you need to have it flat with the floor, and then you'll turn your water pump on once you've got all the taps open in the hot position. So essentially, like I said, you can go over to all the taps, open them all up on the hot side. Once they're all open on the hot side, you can then come to the control panel by the door and turn on your water pump. Once you've got the water pump on, the water system is going to start filling up. Once that water system is completely full, you're going to have water running out of every tap continuously on board the caravan, and at that point you can shut all of the taps back off, and then you're ready to start warming the water on board the van. That's where the Aldi heating and hot water control panel comes in just behind the sink. So you turn the power on the control panel. And once it's fully loaded, so as you can see on the control panel, at the top here you have your room temperature, minus or plus. So you go all the way up to 30 degrees should you wish to. I'm just going to turn it off for now. So Turn it all the way down to 5 degrees, and that is the off position for the heating and hot water. Below that, you have the amount of the water temperature. You have water on when the bar's halfway full, and then when it's completely full, you have water boost when you're showering on board the caravan. Below that, you have the amount of power coming into the caravan from the caravan site you're on. So you've got the option of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts, depending on what caravan site you're on. So for instance, if you're on a site with 2 kilowatts available, you'd set it to the 2 kilowatts and run it from there. Essentially, all it'll mean is if you got it on the 1 kilowatt, it won't be as efficient as if it was on the 3 kilowatts. You've then got your option to run gas for the heating and hot water. Hit the button on the front here. The gas system will self-ignite on board the caravan if the gas bottle is turned on. If it fails to ignite, it'll actually come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen. There's no gas connected at the moment, so I'm not going to leave that turned on. But if it failed to ignite, it'll just come up with gas fail, like I said. And then you could run the heating and hot water from the gas systems if it was ignited. On the button here on the bottom right hand side, you do have some advanced options for the heating and hot water control panel. With these, we do advise you read the manuals fully that come with the caravan for the all the heating and hot water system. If you don't fully understand these, we'd recommend that you don't go into the settings and start adjusting things. If you do fully understand them, then obviously you can go through them, and you can also set programs for your heating and hot water so it comes on at certain times of the day should you wish it to. Before you ever turn off the main control panel above the door, you do turn off this control panel completely by pressing the button here and waiting for the screen to go blank before you turn off the main control panel by the door. So that's your heating and hot water systems and how to fill them. Next up, we've got the fridge. The fridge is very simple to use. So when you come over to the fridge, you'll open the door. At the top here, you've got a dial on the left hand side to select the different power sources that you want to use. So you've got the option of 240 volt mains. If you're on 240 volt mains or a mains powered site, you can control the temperature of the fridge with the button on the right hand, or the dial on the right hand side here. The thicker the line is, the colder the fridge will be. You've then got the option for 12 volt mode. So the 12 volt mode is the power supply from the car you are towing with. It is not the 12 volt supply from the caravan itself. So what you do is you connect to the car at the front, and if you've got the right connection, this will work. If it hasn't got the right connection, then it won't work, and it won't also charge the battery on board the caravan. You can then have the control panel turned off by the door, so you'd have the panel turned off here. Come to the fridge, turn the 12 volt mode on, and if it operates, then the fridge will start acting as a cool box while you're travelling down the road. We do advise, if you're going to put stuff in the freezer compartment, that you put some freezer block or some of the ice blocks in there to keep things cold as well, just while it is getting down to that temperature, because it will not fully freeze the freezer compartment and it will not fully chill the fridge. Next thing we're going to run is the gas systems for the fridge itself. So you're going to turn the dial to the bottom, you're going to press in the temperature control and hit the igniter at the same time. Once the fridge ignites on gas, this little orange line that you see here in this window will actually come round into the green. But once it is in the green, you need to continue holding the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds just to allow the thermocouple to warm up, and then you slowly release the valve and then come back and make sure it is still ignited on this control panel. If it hasn't stayed ignited on this control panel, you go through the same procedure again of trying to ignite it, and on the gas you can control the fridge temperature again on the dial on the right hand side. To isolate the power supply to the fridge, if you don't want the fridge on at all, then you can turn it back to the off position at the top here. And you have also got a winter catch just inside the door, which you can pop open. So you can pop this round, and as you can see, when you shut the door, it won't allow that fridge door to shut completely. You should actually be able to clip that in place, as you can see there, and it will leave a gap for the fridge to breathe, essentially, when it's in storage. Microwave, hob, grill and oven work very much the same as your household appliances. However, the electric ring on the back and the microwave will only work if you have 240 mains coming into the caravan. The rest of the hob, grill and oven will all work off your gas supply coming into the caravan from the gas bottle. You then got your igniter on the front, as you would expect to see. The table for the caravan is actually underneath the bed at the back. So it's just stored away underneath there, and you've also got your carpets for the caravan as well below the bed. As you can see, the bed does lift up so you can access the storage underneath. The last thing we go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system in the bathroom. So you have an electric flush on the toilet here, just on the front. So you press the flush button to allow the toilet to flush. You've got a red indicator light that illuminates red here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full. The toilet seat itself actually turns for your convenience, as you can see here. However, when you're removing the toilet waste cassette from underneath the caravan, you do need to make sure this toilet is in the straight on position, as it is now. Then below the toilet, you'll see your grey waste handle. To allow the waste into the cassette under the van, you'll push this grey waste handle over to the right hand side here, and that will allow the waste into the cassette. And when you're not using the toilet, we do advise you have it in the closed position. The reason for that is it will stop any smells from the toilet cassette coming back up inside the van, but also it will allow you to remove the toilet waste cassette from the side of the van. If it is in the open position, then it will actually lock the toilet waste cassette in place, and like I said, you will struggle to remove the toilet waste cassette. It could also potentially damage and break the toilet waste cassette itself. So this is the Bailey Unicorn Cabrera. If you have any further questions on the caravan, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company, and we'd be more than happy to help. We appreciate your business, and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon. Thank you again. Bye bye.